Hey, it's Travis Bell and Robbie Henderson, and thank you for joining us today. We just got back from one of our Keller Williams conferences, which they shared with us a bunch of information, and we're gonna try to take a 2.5-hour segment and shrink it down to like 2 minutes. Can we do it?
No.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna try.
What we're gonna do is try. And what I'll tell you is, Travis, everybody always asks us, what is our favorite thing about our convention? There's 15,000 people in a room, which is really cool because we haven't been able to go for a couple of years because of COVID. But our favorite speech is the vision speech. And in that vision speech, they give us the opportunity of how they look at it, how their economists look at it. And then we kind of, as you know, every month we break it down and give it to you on a micro level. So let's go and see if we can do it in 3 minutes.
All right, sounds good. So the first slide we're gonna pop up there is home prices. So Robbie, take it away. What are we looking at here?
All right, this is pretty cool. This is your home price annually, and it goes all the way back to 1990. And what it does is it shows you the height of the market was 2006, and then it came crashing down as it showed, and it shows the trend line. And what we're showing you here is, yes, we all felt the prices go up drastically last year, but if you did a 4% growth since 1990, including the dip, we are back to where we would be if everything grew over 4%.
Right,
year over year.
So if you cut out the 2002 to the 2007 kind of blip above that 4% line, and you just said it was a 4% growth each one of those years, we'd be right on that.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. It's good perspective.
Tell me about inventory, my friend.
All right, so the next one we're looking at is inventory, which is, this slide is broken down by month over the last 2 years. So the pink is 2021 and the orange is 2020. So the natural inventory, basically at the end of the year was about 1.8 months of inventory nationally, okay? Which is really cool to look at, but what's more important is that what we're seeing locally is like less than a month. It's like 3 weeks of inventory. What's interesting to point out here is that we are still selling, not we, but the market is still transacting the same number of homes as it has in years past with a smaller inventory. So they're just selling a lot faster.
Yeah. And that takes me to the unit count. So if you looked at last year across America, we had 6.1 million homes sell. That's the highest we've had since 2005. And if you looked at 2020, it was 5.6. What we're projecting, again, the Keller Williams economists are projecting, is because of constraints and supply and just the reality is there's no houses to sell, it's going to still sell close to 6 million, but probably somewhere around 5.9.
Yep. And what's interesting is that in this slide, it breaks out the 2002 to 2006, there was about $28.2 million worth of inventory sold, homes sold, and that same amount will be sold between 2018 and 2022. So I thought it was just interesting to point that out.
Pretty cool.
The next one is mortgage rates. We've heard a lot of information in today's market about mortgage rates going up and down, and oh my gosh, they're above 4% at some point, and it's crazy. This slide just brings us back to reality. Going back all the way to 2015, which was 3.67, you see there's some fluctuation there. As of February 2022, it's 3.69. We did see it sneak up above 4.25, but just last week it was back down to 3.65. So the message there is that we're living in an era of really, really cheap money. And no matter if it went up to 5% or even 6%, it would still be relatively cheap money.
Which brings me and affordability along with inflation. And if we look at the affordability slide, we're seeing that it's getting a little bit worse than 2020. It's up to 16% of your income. However, that is awesome when you look at the natural trend line of 20%, 0.3. We really have not been above that trend line since 2008.
And that's just the average over time, right? The 20.3. So we're still below that at 16% of your income goes towards your actual principal and interest of your mortgage.
And,
right?
for the people that have owned houses forever, if you go back to the 80s, that number was at 36%.
Mostly because the interest rates were through the roof,
17, 18%.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's pretty cool.
Next slide is our inflation. So if you go over and look at the price of a house in 1989, it was $94,000, the average. Then in 2021, it's $346,900, okay? But when you adjust the 1989 for inflation up to today's dollars, that's $218,000 for the average price. If you rolled in their mortgage rate at that time, you would be paying literally about 24% more in 1989 for that same house than you would today because of our such low interest rates. So it's a good perspective to say, yes, things are a little wacky with inflation. Money is still cheap, really cheap. And so while the house prices are, let's see, 59% more, the mortgage payment is actually 24% less. That's the message.
And if you go back to the affordability slide, you'll notice that it was at 24% of your income to buy a house, whereas now it's 16%. And there's your 24%.
There's your 24%. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. As always, please subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions for us, call us 813-931-5000 or email us at info@bellhenderson.com.